Hello, everyone, and welcome to Role Play Cafe. We're here today to play the Vigilante Hack, which is from Bloat Games, right there. All right. It is not a superhero game. It is a game about vigilantes fighting the crime bosses and lords of mayhem in Apollo City, which is where we're going to be set. Not specifically Apollo City, if you don't want it to be, but that's where we're going to be right today. So, introducing John. Who are you playing, John?
Hi, I'm playing Valor. Typical, some mistaken for in between high school and college age. He's running around in a pair of jeans, some old beat up body armor, which is actually more paintball armor than anything else, and a t-shirt with Captain America with a leather jacket on.
All right, well, perfect. All right, O'Neill, what about you, bud?
I am playing Hellbat, and I'm not running around in hockey pants. No, I am the scourge of this underworld. I am Hellbat. I run the night, seeking vengeance and justice, beating down every piece of scum I can find.
All right, perfect. Perfect. All right, well, in this situation, finds you, Valor. You're at home messing around with your little tech gadgets and whatever, scanning the police channels and looking at any kind of thing that pops up on the internet for vigilante activity, as you kind of nightly do. And you catch a little clip, and it seems to be a chaotic scene where there is a lot of thugs, and it's a short video clip that somebody had sent in on their phone. A lot of thugs have, it looks like they have somebody in tow, and he's in a straitjacket, and he's being pulled up to a pole and tied to it, and they're all chanting and yelling and whooping and hollering. There's a lot of them around it, and you recognize the guy that they're strapping up to the pole. He seems to be beat up a little bit, and he is, to your dismay, half unmasked. He is a vigilante that you know of, that oftentimes you pass and is a little bit of a hero to you, that has the audacity to go into the depths of Dream Sand, which is the roughest area in Apollo City, which you don't live that far from there. Seems that they've captured him and they're strapping him to him, and then the video ends real quick. His name is Blue Diamond, and we'll cut from there over to you, Hellbat. You're out at night, close into Dream Sand. You're on the outskirts of it, and you're on top of a building, an office building, and you're surveying the landscape, looking for activities like you do nightly, for any activities. And off in the distance, you hear some sounds of revving of engines, a little bit high-pitched revvings and some cheering and chantings, and you see a couple of torches. It's fairly late. You know, from hearing things around about, that there's been biker gang activities. There was a lady killed a couple of nights ago But they will have races around Dream Sim in different parts of it. This activity's kind of new and kind of kicked up, and you've been trying to isolate where exactly they'll show up or pinpoint where they'll show up at any point in time and find out what's going on there. So far, you've been coming up dry, except for the newsprints the next day of some kind of activity of somebody being injured or admitted to the hospital, and their reports on what exactly happened. A lot of them were attacked and knocked down or either drugged for a city block or two. And you're trying to find out what exactly is going on with that. And this is the first peak and first activity that you think that could lead you to this, to an answer for this. And you're probably about, I'd say, 3-4 city blocks away from what you're hearing off in the distance. Okay. So we'll go back to you, Valor. What are you doing at this moment?
Well, I'm grabbing the red domino mask that I use to keep my identity secret.
Okay.
Grabbing the shield, tossing the t-shirt with me, and grabbing the leather jacket, and I'm climbing down the back trellis.
Okay.
Because I don't want my roommates my housemates to know what I'm doing. So I'm trying to climb down the trellis, not making as much noise as possible, so I could go and help.
Okay. Well, when you did see what was going on, you recognized the area around the area where this was happening. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be running out toward Dream Sim, which you live on the outskirts of it. So you can prepare for some hostilities, and so you're on your way to that. Now, Hellbat, what are you doing at this moment?
I'm currently going to head towards that activity that you described there. That's about 3 or 4 blocks away. Trying to make my way.
How are you doing that?
Basically, like, I mean, how?
Rooftops?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to the rooftops for now.
Okay, all right. You're going. It's going to take you a little bit to get there. Not that long, but probably about 20 minutes. Let's say you go from rooftop to rooftop. While you're going that, you hear a couple of cats scatter out of the way and kick over trash cans, and it's relatively quiet. It looks like a lot of the activity, the closer you get into this area, is very localized and compacted in there. So it's drawn a lot of attention, and everywhere else is relatively quiet speaking, except for this one individual, which you see skirting out down the road. And he has this red domino mask on and this shield imprint on his seat. Now, you recognize him. You have seen him before. You've never made full contact with him. But he's a young guy that is a relatively new vigilante with high hopes. So there may be some concern there, but that's what you see. Now, Valor, you're seeing essentially the same thing as Hellbat, but from a street level. And when you're coming around the corner, you startled a cat and he jumped off the trash can and spilled it over, and the lid wobbles. But other than that, it's fairly quiet. And there's street lights out. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning, and there is a full moon out. So the streets are kind of, there's a lot of ambient lighting on there, as well as from the street lamps themselves. So anyway, you don't necessarily see anything else, and you do hear a little bit of chanting and revving off in the distance. It seems like some kind of engines revving up. some cars or something. So what do you want to do? And it's in the direction of where you need to go, or where you're originally headed.
Well, I am going to make sure my shield is out,
Okay.
and he'll probably think it looks even more like a toy. It's a little bit translucent because it's actually a riot-style shield, and it is done up in full Captain America style with translucent look.
Okay.
And he's got the shield forward, and you can see he's trying to duck in, hide here, hide there, to get up closer to where he thinks this is.
Okay. Well, how about if you've taken any interest in that, you should see the shield prop out and the Star Spangled shield on display, and he's a little bit more predominant than somebody that would be shadowy figure ducking in and out. But you see, he's doing his best to keep a low profile as he makes a hurried pace along the streets. So.
That boy, he's gonna get himself killed.
All right.
Well, basically, man, you're gonna put me in a spot here. I hate to leave the poor kid. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of drop in behind him, just kind of get him a little scared. Like, hey, what do you think you're doing? You might as well just put a spotlight on yourself.
Okay. Hey, Valor, I want you to roll a d6. All right.
That is a 3.
Okay.
But is there any chance of me catching him as he tries to come up?
No, he totally surprised you. When he drops down behind you. And I'm assuming you swung in on your grappling hook, I believe you have.
Yeah.
And he drops behind you. So when he says this, it totally startles you.
His first reaction is to follow through because he has no idea what's going on.
Okay. So
he might as well just go. He might as well just go home.
What are you doing? Are you gonna swing the miss or what?
Oh no, he's taking a swing no matter what. I mean,
okay, all right.
You swept down on him. If the roles were reversed, you would probably be doing the same thing.
Well, probably, yeah.
Because he has no idea who you are or where you came from.
Man, you better get swinging. You better get rolling.
All right, I need you guys to roll for initiative.
Well, that's great.
What'd you get?
18.
17. You suck. Oh man, I thought I had that.
Well, isn't it a lower system?
Yeah, it's a lower system. You got it.
Even initiative lower? Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, I added 2 but I added 2 to on this situation, I'm just doing a comparative.
Well, I did get the surprise on him, so.
Yeah, I'm giving you a bonus on that. So, when you drop in, he turns around and tries to take a swing at you, but you halfway expect it. So, what are you going to do? Tangle him up?
Yeah, I'm just going to tangle him up.
Okay.
Roll for do I have to roll for that one, or just
that's relatively you just tangle him up, and Valor, you're struggling a little bit. He's got you in a bear hug.
Yeah, he's definitely outmassing me, and there's not much I can do about it.
Yeah.
What are you doing, boy?
Because he didn't take a swing, I'm not really fighting back as much.
Yeah. They just y'all making a little bit of you're making a little bit of commotion around there. A window light comes on in the building across from you in the upper story.
I'm just gonna take him. I'm gonna drag him over to the nearest alley real quick.
All right.
Get out of sight.
Okay. You drag him over there, tell him to hush his yap.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll let y'all interplay that whenever you like to make your plans.
What are you doing
Okay,
out
am I
here?
familiar with his persona, if not the character himself?
Yeah, I want you to roll a d6 to see. Well, look, roll your intelligence. Roll d20.
I made it.
Okay. Yeah, you come to realize that that's who he is after you get over your startled moment, and yeah, things fall into place for you, and you back up for a second. You realize who you're dealing with, but yeah, he did startle you. So
I never heard of you going after the kids, but who knows?
I ought to just turn you over my knee and spank your bottom and send you on home right now.
It'd take a hell of a lot more than this to do that.
Kid, you're just gonna get yourself killed out here.
okay, while y'all saying this and talking, you hear the engines start to revving up in high pitch, and the sounds are getting louder from the crowd around them. And
I think we got bigger fish to fry at the moment.
Yeah, you need to go back home to your mommy. I got bigger fish to fry than you.
I think there's a lot more fish to fly than either one of us probably should be handling alone anyway.
Doesn't sound like you're going home, are you?
Would you?
No.
okay, the tempo, and you hear somebody over a megaphone start speaking really loud. Y'all are about a block away from this. It's a little bit muffled now, and you can't really make out the difference. Just roll a d6 for me, each of you. Let me see if you can make heads or tails.
4.
2.
Okay, O'Neill, or should I say Hellbat? Where you're talking with Valor here and trying to calm him down. You're in a section of the alley where the sound's coming at you more directly, and you catch hold of this loud voice and determine it's from a megaphone, and there's somebody speaking on it. And even though it's hard to hear over the engine revving and the crowd chanting, you make out different words, and he's saying the first one back, the first one that brings him back in whole or in part wins the prize. And then the crowd kind of booms, and then he's saying, "Yeah, we got the sucker," and then they keep yelling again. So you hear the revving of the engines still more, and then you hear him start to he'll say, "On my mark." All right, so I'll leave it right there with you.
I ain't got time for arguments, kid. I need to get going. Somebody's about to get hurt real bad.
Mm-hmm. I say it's a lot of punks.
I'm heading. I'm going.
Okay. So you're running off to war there, Hellbat?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, are you grappling or are you running?
I'm gonna grapple. I'm hitting.
As soon as you start to grapple, I grab a hold of you.
Now, are you grappling with him? I mean, are y'all stopping the
He's
ground?
tugging on my cape.
Basically, I'm trying to be the passenger.
He's tugging on my cape.
Okay. All right. You're riding on his tailcoat. Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So you're beating it down there, and since you're on ground level, more of the crowd, around. When you get close enough, you see the backs of all these thugs and hoodlums, and a lot of them have, beers up in the air, and they're all chanting and yelling. And you see a guy on a little makeshift platform with a megaphone. and he takes it away from his mouth, and then he raises up a gun, and he shoots it, and you see the flare come out and go up in the air, and then you hear a lot of squealing tires, and that crowd's parting ways, and then out from that crowd starts shooting motorcycles, and these thugs are all on these motorcycles. I mean, there must be about 12 of them, and they're riding right in your direction. And so I want you to roll your dex. And get below it.
Nah, I got a 16. My dex is 11.
Okay.
I rolled a 3, and my dex is 18.
Okay. Well, Valor, you notice what's going on really quickly. Hellbat seems to be bothered by the fact you're tugging on him, and he's half looking back to get rid of you, and then these bites are coming on either side of you.
Would I be able to use my acrobatics, which I've got a specialty in because of the type of character I am, to try to basically commandeer one of the bikes?
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't surprise that you're moving, so they're about on you right now. They kind of just blasted out of the crowd as the crowd parted and came your way. And Hellbat turned around and look at you and to swipe at you, and you see them as he's coming right close to you. Now, Hellbat, there's I want you to roll for your when you're turning around and you see this. You obviously hear the motorcycle coming right at you, and the driver has a crowbar, and he's swinging it right at you. I want you to roll. Roll your dex. Roll your initiative, rather.
Okay. 16.
Okay, and you do the same, Valor.
That's a 4.
Okay, so did you make your initiative, Hellbat? I mean, it's going to be below your dex.
No.
You didn't? Okay. You're still discombobulated from him pulling on your trousers. And he's pulling your trousers halfway down, and you stopping to pull them back up. And look, while these bikes are coming swinging by him, you see the guy swing at him, and he's going to swing at you, Hellbat. And I want you to roll for a melee roll. Roll your roll under your
strength.
Strength.
Yeah. 14. I made that.
You made it?
No,
barely. Okay. He hits you. But you roll with the punches to the side. All right. And at this moment, Valor, you've made 2 successful, awareness rolls, basically. So I want you to roll a dex and see if you can do something with this biker who's just missed Hellbat. Now, he connected, but it wasn't.
I'm rolling sweet for this game. That is a 1.
A 1. Fantastic.
I think you found the game.
Now, what did you want to do with this guy?
I want to knock him off and steal his bike.
Okay. Now, right time he swings and he hits Hellbat, but he's hitting a big old target. Am I right? Because Hellbat's a little bit of a meaty guy, and he rolls with the punch, and he's quite surprised when you're on the receiving end after he hits. After he hits him, his bike wobbles a little bit. It throws him off some, and he's in a perfect place for you, Valor, to take advantage of him.
Yeah.
So how do you take him out of his seat and commandeer this bike?
As Hellbat is spinning over to avoid that crowbar hit, to roll with it, he's actually pushing me over. So I ready the shield and go on over with it, pushing him off the bike, grabbing a hold of the handlebar with my other dominant hand, swinging myself on it.
Sweet.
And then I pop down the other leg and swing around.
All right, go with your
And I
bad self.
look at him and say, "Do you need a lift?"
All right. What you gonna do, Hellbat?
I'd be pulling on his coattails here.
Now, oh boy, when you did this, oh boy, yeah, straight goes back like that. He loses, and you hear the crowbar clang on the ground, and his head, the back of his head, the idiot didn't wear any kind of a helmet. He hits the back of his head, and you see his eyes roll back, and his head rolls to the side. And that crowbar has been thrown about 5 foot away from his hand, but he totally got thumped by Valor. Shield bash. The rest of the bikes are already going down there. There's people behind you, and they're starting to. It's like 2 or 3 of them have like pulled their beers down, like looking, and they start taking off to run at you, and they're throwing the beer bottles. They're not close enough yet to you. One of them slams right on the ground beside you.
Yeah.
And I look at him one more time. Are you coming or not?
Fine. I'll hop on the bike.
All right, you guys take off, okay? The rest of those bikers are probably about a full block away from you, and you see them take a right and swerve around the corner, a little bit past that corner, that alley that you had taken him into. So, what are y'all doing now?
I am laying at it because I'm pretty sure that this at least feels a little bit like a bicycle, and I've got a high dex, which I imagine is probably the balance controlling this thing.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, with me on there, yeah.
Okay. Now,
and he's making sure to weave around the chuck holes and everything.
Okay, well, what are y'all doing now? There's the crowd. You could hear them almost like a bull stampede, like the rushing of the bull behind you. And
hey, I'm on a bike, and
the
other bikes.
Yeah, you're on the bike, but I mean, which way are you going? Are you?
We're going after the other bikes,
okay.
Of course.
Jason's
He's got to steal his own.
You're going after the other bikes, okay? So you're rounding the corner.
Yeah.
Now I want you guys to Valor, roll for initiative. Again, try to roll under your decks.
That will be a 14. I'm beating it by 4.
Okay, you beating it by 4. That's good. Okay, you come around the corner, and even though you're carrying a large load on there, and the other ones are light, you are making some ground. It seems like a lot of the other bikers are somewhat weaving a little bit, but they're still getting out. Maybe they've been hitting the sauce a little bit more they should have before this little expedition they've undertaken. But you're catching up somewhat. So you round that corner too and come out. I want you to roll it again.
That is another 1.
Another 1. All right, you pop a wheelie. Hellbat tries to hold on. He's hugging on to you like that. You drop it. You go down like that. And you're really piling on. It looks like a lot of them are kind of struggling going around the corner because they hit another right, but they're having to slow down more than you. But you're kind of almost drifting, even with Hellbat on the back of that bike, and you're really catching up.
It's the cape.
Okay. Now the cape's all flying in the wind and everything like that. You can hear it whipping like a canvas on the sails of a ship. And when you round that corner, you're catching up with them. You do notice that, oh boy, the first one wasn't the only one with some kind of a weapon in his hand. You see a few of them as you're driving. You're close enough now. You can see some of the reason that they're having trouble driving these bikes as efficiently as they could is because they're holding weapons in their hand. They're holding, well, I say weapons, but makeshift weapons. Some of them's got chains. Other ones have crowbars. One of them has already, it looks like he don't have anything but his broken beer bottle that he's trying to sway. Okay. But there's several of them. You see their lights, they're disappearing, and they're weaving in and out of these out of these city blocks. But you've caught up, and you're probably a good, I'd say, 20 foot off the rear end of this pack of bikes that are driving, and they're all hooping and hollering, and it actually looks like you can see whenever they get close to each other, they're trying to hit each other too with their weapons. All right. Yeah, they're crowbars and whatnot. So I want you to roll one more time to see what you get for your dex.
That's a 5.
That's a 5. Okay, you're caught up on the rear end of this biker that's on the tail end of this pack.
Hellbat says, I say to Hellbat, can you take over?
Get as close as you can. We'll see.
No, I'm asking you, can you take over this bike if I go?
Go, kid, go.
Okay.
And with that, I let him reach around me to grab the handles. And I'm going to start to pull myself onto the fuel tank because I'm getting ready to jump the one that we're coming close to.
Okay. Okay. Now,
it's either that or I was going to knock the guy off for you.
Okay.
Now, I do get a +1 acrobatics that I haven't been adding. Does that, so that subtracts 1 from it?
Well, I mean, you're going to add in either way.
It adds to your dex, so that way your rolls stay under.
Okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, you got to, just to let y'all know, I'm going to be adjusting this difficulty-wise. Well, actually, I'm going to say, and you have to excuse me, this is the first time I ran this, what we're going to do, you've got a disadvantage at doing it this way. All right, so I want you to roll 2D.
Okay.
But you can have your plus. He's anticipating that roll.
Come on, Lady Luck. Come on, Lady Luck.
Hey.
7s.
The highest die is a 10, and I would have an effective 19.
Well, your highest die, the highest die is a 10. And you got a 19, so you make it. Even with disadvantage. Describe how you commandeer this bike.
And at this point, you see us go up by him. I just shield bash him off of it and just sort of walk onto it. Like, what's up?
All right. Listen, he turns and tries to swat at you, and he hits you with the chain that he has, but it doesn't get any traction. It just slides off the shield. And when he holds it down, he gets halfway caught in the the back tire, and it gets ripped out of his hand. And then he's looking up, and he's shield bashing, and he tumbles backwards. You manage to hold the bike steady, even though it bumps a little bit over the chain, and you walk onto the bike and slide onto it. Now, both of y'all are
and with that, I'll go back a little, and then I'll catch up to him and say, "So you can you ride half as well as you yell?"
Shut up, kid, and ride.
All right. Now, y'all are pretty close to these, pretty close to the backpack. But I want both of you to roll, roll on your decks. Roll on your decks.
For me?
Yeah, both of you. You're
okay.
on the,
All right. Ooh, finally. I got a 10. I'm one under.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
What'd you get, Valor?
17.
17. So you didn't quite make it.
I'm an 18.
He should have made it.
Okay. All right.
By the skin of my teeth.
Yeah. So you both are kind of amazed that this actually just happened. Yeah. And you walked over, you sat down. Now you got to get back in the zone and back to the task at hand. So,
and when Hellbat looks over at him, you see this biggest shit-eating grin on his face that you've ever seen on a vigilante.
All right. So I'm sure Hellbat's rolling his eyes and like that, but at this time you catch up to you're on either side of the next biker, who seems to be totally he's the one with the with the broken beer bottle in his hand, and he does have a helmet on, and he's got this full beard. It's like this biker bill with, and he's going at it. He's yelling and cussing and ranting and raving at the rest of them, and totally oblivious of either of you on either side of him as you both come up the side. So what do you want to do?
All right, I'm gonna attempt to knock this guy right off his bike.
Okay.
Just big old beefy leg kicking right at him.
Okay. Just beefy leg. Well, roll underneath your melee. Your strength.
Yeah, 5.
5. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's what you do. Now look. As I said, that y'all both on either side of it. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
When you do, yeah, I know you. when you do this, he's quite taken aback. I mean, when you beefy leg kick him, he lays that bike out. All right. Now, I want you to Valor. I want you to roll underneath your dex.
That's going to be an 11. So I made it by 7.
Okay. Now, what happens when this bike is laid out? It hits, mm-hmm. spins, and the front wheel almost comes right in directly in your path, but you skirt around it. And so he's got plenty of road rash. I'm sure that guy is.
And as he starts to fall,
yeah.
I look behind him and do that half hand wave, like bye bye.
Yeah, you see him. He's spinning like a break dancer into a stopping position. And he's screaming. He's obviously like totally. What the heck just happened? So, and he's sliding on his little leather jacket. He seems to be an old school guy, that's still not one of these young punks like the rest of them. And he sits there right when he looks at you and like that, and he looks up at his beard. He just tosses it. And you two are on your way. On your way. There seems to be there's like 8 or 9 riders that you see on the pack that are turning around the corner here, and you're right. I mean, you're pretty much in the thick of approaching the middle of it. All right, there's like 3 of them, like right in between y'all. And y'all are coming up like in between the center one between you and the 2 on the outside, and y'all about to hit a curve and come into another curve. They're not using turn signals, but you can tell that the ones before them are bending into the curve. All right.
All right. I'm just try to pick them off one at a time. I guess that's about all I can do. But
okay. Now, do you want to get up there with them exactly? You're a little bit behind. I want both of you to roll the dex roll again. See if you can get within striking distance.
No, I failed that one.
Okay.
And I got a 4.
Okay.
17.
All right. Well, how about you? You gas it a little bit, and from the angle that they're taking that corner is a little bit tight on the corner for you to make it, and so you can't really focus on doing the catch up. You're more turning. Valor, you managed to get up there in the thick of them around the curve, and is overtaking the one on the inside. So what do you want to do?
I know it's really dangerous, but I'm gonna try it anyway because it'd be kind of acrobatic style.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do is, since they're already at an angle,
yeah,
I want to take my front fender and cause one of them to do a domino to knock all of them off.
Okay. Yeah, they're all turning in tandem together, all 3 of them, and you're on the inside. So if you want to try that, you're gonna ram it with. I mean, you're on a street bike. So
I would probably want to be on the outside so that I'm working with the turn. If there's enough room.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to use their angle to my advantage.
Gotcha. Okay.
Just a slight little extra oomph to start the domino falling.
Well, I mean, if you're on the outside, they're not going to slide into each other. You know, they're more or less going to be sliding away from each other. If you know, the domino effect won't really be in action. You see what I'm saying? If you're on the outside and you hit one of them, I mean, you would, unless you could get them directed toward the inside, get him crossing their paths. That's about the only way. But that would be, you know, at a disadvantage is basically what I'm saying, to roll that, to make it happen.
I'll try it. Because at least this way they aren't falling in towards me, which was what I was mainly concerned with.
Yeah, gotcha.
And that is a 13 is my high.
Okay. And your dex was, I can't remember, 14?
My dex is 14.
14.
19, 18.
18, gotcha.
18.
Okay, well, you do happen to, you get him hit, and he surprisingly, he pulls himself around. When you're coming like at him from the side, he adjusts his view to your angle and corrects himself because he sees you trying to ram him. But when he goes over there, he slides into the next guy who isn't quite taking the turn like he needs to. And roll a d6, okay? Because if you get 1 and 2, you'll take out one of them. 3 and 4, 2, and 5 and 6, you'll take out all 3. All right.
1.
Okay. Well, when you hit him, he wobbles. The other one happens to veer off, and he slides right behind him. So he makes it past him, and so 2, and then he slides up against the lamppost. Now, Hellbat, he slides right in front of you and hits the lamppost. You have enough time to veer around him without, you know, too much difficulty. And you're catching up right behind him. So I want y'all both to roll again. Roll your decks. See how you're handling this.
Damn. 13.
13?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're struggling to keep up with them, and you're falling behind a little bit. Valor, what'd you roll?
11.
11. All right. So you're still on the outside of them, and you pull it up a little bit in front of them, if you so wish. You got the advantage in the race, as it was in your position.
Well, I'm going to try to clip the one that didn't see me do the other one.
Yeah.
Because I figure he'll be an easier target because he won't see it coming as much.
Well, I mean, when he had to dodge the oncoming, when you hit that one guy, it almost hit him. So he's alert to your presence now.
Okay.
Okay, because he can see you right over there. So when if you're approaching him, he's got his crowbar in his left hand, because you're on the outside of him, and he's holding it menacingly, and he's wobbling a little bit. He's trying to get closer to you right now. But like I said, you got the advantage.
Okay.
Advantage as far as
okay. If he put it into his left hand,
yeah,
I'm gonna veer to the right to make sure my shield arm is beside him.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna try to tap him, like I did the other ones.
Okay. So you want to go up there and do a little shield bash. Now,
less shield bash, more clip the tire like I did with the others.
Oh, gotcha.
I just wanted it on my shield side so that I have the protection there if I need it.
Gotcha.
To try to knock the blow away. That is a 16, so I only made it by 2.
Okay, so you did make your thing. So you get to go first, because over him, over your target.
Okay.
So I want you to roll again with your melee, and let's see if you can do this. Or your strength, basically. That'd be your strength.
No.
No? Okay. You try, but I mean, what happens here is after you rolled, roll again for your melee, and let's see if he hits you with that downstroke on that crowbar.
Oh yeah, he hit me. Okay, that's a 20.
Yeah. While you were trying to hit this, while you were trying to hit his tire and cause him off. He was hoping to pull the shield up to block, and he came down. Well, what happened is he cracks you. He cracks the top of that shield, rather, and pulls it down, and it flips out of your hand and underneath the bike, and it causes that bike to slide out from underneath you, and you go spiraling across the road. And I want you to roll. Let me see what the damage on that is. Roll a 1d6.
1.
1. Okay. Well, you double that to 2. You've gotten, even though you had your little Kevlar armor on. Well, actually, what does your armor displace?
Medium armor has 4, and the shield has 1.
Okay. Well, it'll soak 2 of your 2 damage up from the road granules. You'll have the road grid all embedded in your suit now. So soak 2 of them. Now, coming up behind him, Hellbat, you see him take the spill and lay that bike out and slide across the road. And they're still hot-footed, this biker group, and they hit that turn again, and they're going. But you're close behind them, but you still see them fly out. What are you doing? That'd be you, Hellbat.
Oh, shoot. Sorry.
You gotta get used to your new name.
Yeah, I know. Oh, man.
Yeah, he struck out. That was a rough sight, man.
Well,
He's trying to push that tire, and old boy ripped the shit out of him. He goes flying.
I stopped to check on him.
Okay.
For a second.
You stop to check. You see me get up, start to dust it off. What are you doing? Go! Go!
All right. I'll hit the throttle. I'll go.
And with that, he climbs back on the bike, goes over to his shield, picks it back up, puts it on his arm, and starts hauling.
Okay, so you're jumping on your own bike, right? So you both are off. All right. Now, roll both of you. Roll your decks. Let's see if you can maneuver back up to these guys.
Oh, Papa needs a new pair of shoes. 5. Made it.
5. Okay. What about you, Valor?
That's a 17.
17. So you're still kind of roughed up from that spill and disoriented a little bit. You can't quite stabilize your bike, and it has a little bit of a shake to it now. Tire seems to be a little bit out of whack, but nevertheless, you're catching up.
Don't worry, you're gonna steal another one anyway.
Yeah, Hellbat's catching up to him a little bit. He's about behind. He's a pace behind him, and you're a pace behind him. So roll one more. What do you? What would you get?
I got a 6.
Okay, what'd you get, Hellbat?
16. No, I failed it.
So he didn't. Yeah. Okay, you caught up with him, Valor. Y'all still are just a pace behind them right now. Now, they are. You've been driving for a little while, weaving in and out of these things, and you're off in the distance. You're a little bit on a straightaway right now. They seem to be going. They were weaving in and out of these areas, and now they're on a straight run, and they're going more full on. All right, like I said, you're a pace behind the last one. So, off in the distance a little bit, you can see some more lights, and another gathering that's similar to what it was when it started. Now, there to you, Valor, you instantly recognize this as the area that you saw in the video clip. And there seems to be a group of people around it. It's more like a cul-de-sac little area. The first bikers are already entering that area right now. and the cheers are going up, and they've got the first biker reaches down, and there is a chain that he picks up. It has a big loop on it, and he attaches it to. He only pauses for a second. He attaches it to the loop of the back of his bike, which you haven't noticed yet, but there's like a welded on piece of metal that comes up that loops around. He attaches that loop at the end of that chain onto the little holder on the back of his bike, and then he cuts off driving. Now he swung around in this cul-de-sac, pulled up right beside the thing, picks the chain up, but you notice when he's picking it up and he's starting to drive off, your eyes drawn over to the little center pedestal where you see a man standing in a straitjacket, and this chain is starting to pull taut as this first driver is driving away after he rounds that cul-de-sac. And when he pulls on it and it pulls taut, this guy in the straitjacket is yanked off of that pole and hits the ground. And then the driver, his bike bucks a little bit and he starts picking up speed. Now he's coming around the cul-de-sac and he's coming right back in your direction. And you see the drivers in front of you all rearing up with their crowbars and chains and whatever they have in their hands. And it looks like they're directing their attack at the driver that had picked up this individual, this straitjacketed individual that he's dragging now. So all this is happening in front of you in a little cul-de-sac area that's ringed by these people that are cheering, drinking, and carrying on. So what are you doing now?
Does the person on the bike look like the other bikers, disheveled, whatever they look like, biker type, or is it someone different?
Yeah, you mean the driver of that bike? Yeah, he looks similar to the rest. They all are cavorting and cursing and just being belligerent, toward each other and trying to hit each other off the bikes. And yeah, he looks like he looks like a thug, is what he looks like, a common thug. Okay. Now he is, you notice as you've been driving that you do notice one thing about him though, he's Hispanic. Just as a point of reference. There are people of different races here, but that's the one as far as anybody identifiable amongst all the different thugs. Mm-hmm. So he's coming right toward everybody and weaving through the bikers right now. And he's almost upon you, and everybody seems to be hitting that curve in that cul-de-sac and turning around and trying to catch up with him. They seem to be. He was too much on a curve, and a lot of them are missing him with their swings and kind of staggering a little bit in their bikes, and then they're hitting it. The dust plumes are coming up, and they're tracking around and then following that bike that's pulling that that guy on that bike. And after he gets to that cul-de-sac, he's right on y'all right now. Okay. I mean, he's in close proximity.
It's kind of a given, but we probably know what I'm doing.
He's coming straight on, head on to us, isn't he?
Uh-huh.
All right. Now, when he's coming straight on at you, I want you to roll a. He's going to be trying. He's not coming directly at you. He's trying to bob and weave through everybody. He's trying not to get hit. So I want you to roll your valor. If you're trying to go after him to take a swipe, I want to roll to see if your dex, if you can get near him to do that.
Okay. So just a straight dex check?
Yeah.
To see if I can get near him?
Yeah.
That's a 3.
Okay. Now you have it. You spin that bike and getting close to him, and I want you to roll.
Actually, what I want to do
Yeah.
is I want to joust with him. I want to use the shield to force him off as I'm doing my acrobatic flip to take that bike.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have, when you're doing something like this, don't you roll a disadvantage?
I know.
Yeah.
I've already got the 2 dice in hand.
All right. Go ahead, bro. Now we're rolling for initiative right now, but even on the initiative, roll a disadvantage on it. What you're prepping to do.
Okay, my initial would be a success because I rolled a 15.
Okay, gotcha. And now to do what you're trying to do, roll.
And with disadvantage, that would be a 12.
Okay, and so you did make it. This is insane. So describe how you exactly you do this.
I sort of go up to him, and I decide that this bike is just not going to work anymore. So I push him with the shield as I'm jumping onto his bike, grabbing the handlebars with my other hand and trying to keep control of it, trying to slow down a little. And as I'm doing this, Hellbat hears, "Can you give me some cover?"
Okay. All right, you did that. You hit it. You hit this guy, and I guess he comes off the bike, and he's still looking every which way. So you kind of hit him. You hit him blindsided when you pull up on him, and you take him off. Now you got this bike, and everybody else has already made this full turn around, so they're all coming right at you down the rear.
Now I'm on the lead bike pulling the guy, right?
Yeah, you are, and the bike you were on.
I'm intentionally going to make my bike veer off and flatten out, basically doing a spin out right in front of the other bikes.
Okay, now if you're trying to do that too, I want you to roll a disadvantage to see if you could have left off that bike to get it to do that, and then we'll see how many, if any, you hit.
Oh shoot! I lost my 1, but it's still a 6.
Okay, all right. Now you stay. You're still a 6. I know he's killing.
Oh my god!
I need to have him roll for me sometimes. This bike spins out. I want you to roll that D6 like before.
Oh man!
And we're doing
That's a 5.
Okay, so 5. This bike careens as you jump off of it to swing around to grab this lead bike. Everybody else was kind of clustered on this turn to come up the rear and follow. And when you jump off, you kick off your bike and it slides into 3 of them, and it's a domino effect. It kicks into one, which kicks into the other. The rest of them are slowing down to get around it. All right, so they're going to be a pace behind when they're trying to catch up with you. Now, that's if you're continuing on driving. Now, what are you, Hellbat, what are you doing?
Looking at this kid in shock.
And shock and awe. I was like, okay, I could have just stayed home and ate my Wheaties. All right, this kid's asking for cover. I'm gonna give him cover.
Okay.
I'll stop. I'll let him run the bike past me, and I'm gonna grab him my utility belt for my smoke pellet and toss one out.
Okay, you're gonna toss one out.
Yeah.
All right. I want you to roll your decks. Of course, where are you tossing it exactly? In the middle of the bikers or what?
Yeah, just right towards the middle of the bikers.
Okay, sounds good.
Sweet. I made it. 6. Awesome. Beats 11.
Okay, 6. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. When you do throw, it'll land where basically all those other bikers were starting to pile up. And now the smoke's all coming up. And it's just making the situation worse for them, where they're trying to dodge these bikes that have been laid out in front of them. They're now not only trying to dodge the bikes inefficiently, but actually bumping into each other and causing it to careen out. I want you to roll a D6 on so many people.
5.
5. All right, 3 more. You hear bam, bam, aye, and they go flying or whatever like that. Hit the ground. So let me do a count here. That was 6 y'all just taken out. Did y'all taken out 3 before? Is that
And
it?
I took out the guy that was piloting this bike.
And you took out the guy. And when you see that Hellbat, you do notice the guy that he had taken out had gotten up and he's running over to the nearest bike trying to get on it. Now, he's a little bit away from, but you can tell his intent, what he's trying to do. So we got, that was 6 there, and you taken out, I think, 3, or was it 4?
I think 4.
4
more on that.
Yes.
Okay. Now you got 2 of the bikes that come around the corner that do make it through and burst out of the little smoke cloud that you throw. So you'll see that smoke swirl and then them pop out, and you're seeing that other biker run over there and start to pick up one. Now, what are you doing? Because they're almost on you. You had to stop and do that. The Valor's already about a pace behind you.
All right. Actually, this just came to mind. This is I'm gonna grab my grappling gun and I'm gonna shoot at the guy running for the bike.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna try to swing him towards the guys coming through the smoke.
Okay. Well, I mean that's gonna be pretty, because they're a little bit more advanced and can get to you a lot quicker than he can get to that bike, because he's got to ride that bike and get on it. But if you can grab him around the leg or bolo him or whatever, more power to you. But I'm making you do it at a disadvantage. All right, roll below. Yeah.
It's no roll below my decks. Come on.
Did not.
No, that failed. That's 13.
Okay. Now he sidesteps it, and you roll. It's still free if you want to retrieve it, but it's going to take an action to get it up. Are you just going to pull it behind you when you?
I'll just pull it. I'm just going to pull it behind me. Whatever.
Oh, that could be hectic. Yeah, as you're pulling this grappling hook behind you, the bike, you turn around with the bike and you go off, and you see the kid. He's already almost at that first bend before the straightaway, and he's still drag you. You don't see the kid so much as you see that body that's being dragged behind his back.
Actually, if there is a grassy side to this,
no, it's totally urban. I mean, as far as any grass in this area is died off.
Well, even dead grass would probably be a little lighter than road rash, because I'm starting to slow down. I'm not going to keep dragging him.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying it's totally inner city without. You know what I'm saying? There's not much of greenery at all. Period. There is little strips, but nothing to warn.
I mean, I was just trying to aim him towards the less hostile area as I slow down safely.
Okay. Well, I mean. Yeah, you can try to do that. There's like
actually, how long is the chain?
The chain is about a good 15 foot long.
He says, "I know this is stupid." While he's going, he's going to try to reach back to the chain and pull him up.
While you're driving?
Yep.
Okay, that's going to be that's going to be some negatives.
Now I figure, and disadvantage, right?
Yeah, you're going to add 4 to your roll at a disadvantage.
And that is a 9. With the disadvantage.
With a
and
disadvantage.
My strength is 10.
Yeah, but did you add 4 to it? Because if you're driving. Yes. Oh, okay. Well, listen, you're. I'm gonna say
I'm not trying to get him seated. I'm just trying not to drag him. He's probably laying over the back of the bike.
Okay.
At most.
Well, I mean, to say that you're driving this bike, you would have had to slow down to do that. And
oh yeah, I
won't.
I figure I almost came to a stop.
Okay. Well, okay. Yeah.
I slowed way down.
you're huffing and puffing, and you often while you're doing this, you feel some stress that you got to hurry up. And you're pulling him, and you pull this guy up, and he's totally wrapped up in this thing. He's barely conscious now. His face is bloodied, gravelly. It looks like he had been beaten up beforehand. You do recognize him. He's got like half of a cowl of some kind of a mask that's been torn off of his face and is laying over on the outside of, laying on the back of his thing. And a lot of his hair's been scraped off. He's in pretty bad shape. His eyes are kind of lolling if you throw him across the back of the bike, like a horse. And while you're doing this, you're looking off in the distance, and you see Hellbat has thrown some kind of a smoke plume, and you see the two drivers pop out, and you see him off in the distance, and then he swings around, and he's coming towards you, and you see those two guys that are chasing him. He's catching up on you, and he'll probably be right near you by the time you get old boy up on the back of that bike.
Okay.
Right.
With that, I'm gonna try to keep the bike going, get us both going, and I slip my hand into my pocket for one of my own pellets.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do anything yet. I'm right now, I figure my turn is way past done by the time I just get this bike going again.
Exactly. Once you get him seated and you get that bike going again, he's right up almost on you, and those other two are pretty much a pace behind him, and they're screaming and whatever. And y'all are on the threshold of that first turn off that straightaway.
And you hear as you're coming up to him, got any fancy caltrops in that fancy belt of yours?
No. No, I'm all out of toys. Let's just get going.
All right.
He says, I got a pellet. I can try to throw it as we go.
Yeah. All right. So,
yeah, I do have another pellet.
But
okay. You guys roll when you're up like that. I want you to roll and see if you can get out distance these guys, both of you.
Okay, so
on your decks.
Do we need an initiative check first, or?
Well, no. You just go see if you can outdistance them. Just do some dex checks if you can maneuver and out.
Okay.
No, we got 16. I'm not evading them.
Yeah, you're not dexterous enough.
No.
I'm doing mine, but I don't know if there's a penalty or not.
Okay.
Because I'm making sure to keep him on.
Okay, what are you? Okay, as far as the penalty, yeah, you'll be rolling at a disadvantage. Is what you'll do.
Okay,
straight.
So the first one is 12.
Okay, and that's still under, right? So
that's down by 6.
Yeah, you make it around the corner. Hellbat, they're pretty much right up on you, right up on the rear of your wheel, and I'm assuming you guys are taking the corner, right? Now, Hellbat, I want you to roll if you're both trying to veer off on that corner to get out of here, which is the only way out. Roll a d6. Just don't roll a 1.
6.
Okay. Well, actually, you roll the opposite of that, so something else happens. That grappling hook that you had been dragging, you hear more than anything. You hear a tug. Now, what is it connected to exactly?
My utility belt.
Okay. Now, all right, with this just as
maybe.
Yeah. Well, what has happened is one of these guys on the outside didn't see this grappling hook you've been pulling and this rope, it gets snagged in his wheel. All right, his front wheel, and it's winding up this rope, and then all of a sudden he flips in the air, and his body goes out, and you feel that belt on you tighten, and I want you to roll your strength, okay? Roll below it.
Really? I got a 19.
Missed.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. Now, what has happened is this bike is flipping in the air, and you're trying to make a turn, but it's going straight. All right. And it yanks you off this bike. You let go, the bike sliding out, and all of a sudden you see this diminishing bike that you were on, and you're flying backwards as this grappling hook is already taken up and is pulling you off the bike. Now, when you fly backwards, you hit the ground, and the other biker that was with you, or that was chasing you rather, he makes the turn, and he looks at you like that, and half pauses, and then he keeps going straight. What you do here also a little bit when you're aware, you slide like on your rear end backwards, and until you stop, and you look right to your right, and that one guy that had commandeered that bike that Valor had knocked off with his shield, he's coming straight your way. All right, you see him about a block and a half maybe down the road, but you hear his little bike. You see the flames behind him from the crowd and everything, and he's coming toward you, but the other guy's straight after Valor. So Valor, you hear some commotion behind you, and you hear the crash as that bike flipped through the air and goes through the window of the building that was right in front of it before it could make the turn. It's half stuck in and half stuck out of a window of that building. So it yanked you off, Hellbat, but it didn't yank you that far, just enough off the bike. All right.
All right.
So what are you doing, Valor?
Okay, he's on the ground, so even if he is blinded for a second, it's not gonna really do anything. I'm gonna drop a flashbang behind me.
Okay. All right. Now you're going to be doing this slightly in a I want you to, while you're driving and while you're trying to hold this guy on you in a flashbang.
Well, what I've done is I've taken the chain and I'm basically holding him on the bike by the chain.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're just going to toss a flashbang behind you. I want to see how effective it is. So I want you to roll a disadvantage. Explain why in a second.
And
so your dex.
And that would be dex.
Yeah.
My low is my high is a 10.
Okay. Your high's a 10, which you make it, and you drop this right in front of him. This driver, and I mean this biker is coming up right behind you, and he totally loses. He's disoriented. He just drives straight on. Now you're approaching the next turn, and when you hit that turn, he keeps going straight, and he drives straight into the building. All right, that bike slams shut, and he goes through the window, and you don't see anything. I mean, you don't see him. You know what I mean? His legs or anything sticking out. He's straight through. Now, what are you doing?
I shout back to Hellbat, there's another bike up here. Whole ass. Okay. Now, when you're going, you expect to see Hellbat right behind you, like a pace behind you, but you don't see anything. And the guy that you had just taken out, you knew was one of the other bikers who went Hellbat. So now you're thinking, where did Hellbat go? He's supposed to be between us two, right? Well, I've been looking back a little as we've been going. I wouldn't have left him completely behind. And I'm assuming that I would have heard the commotion of him getting pulled off of his bike.
Yeah, you did. You did.
I'm just shouting in general, there's another bike up here. Haul ass.
Okay. Now, Hellbat, he's already kind of a little ways down the road. You may hear a little bit, but you really can't hear him at that, at that distance with the buildings in between. There's an acoustic shadow. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's blocking it. Because he's already made
All
two
right.
turns around.
Yeah.
And your ears are ringing from that little jolt anyway. So the other guy is right now, he's bearing down on you. And you're able to, right now, you can do an action and ready yourself before he gets up to speed.
As he's coming up, I'm going to toss another smoke pellet again.
Okay.
Just get for some kind of a distraction.
Okay. Now, when you toss the smoke pellet just right in front of you, I'm gonna have you roll for that. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But the guy isn't really revving up to take the turn. You hear his engine go down a little bit, and the smoke pellet is like that, and then you see his bike come through gradually, like his front tire comes out, his handlebars out, and he steps off this thing and puts the kickstand down, and then he starts walking to you. He takes his helmet and often drops it on the ground. He looks ticked off, and he's wide-eyed too. I mean, wild-eyed, and he starts running at you. Now, what are you doing? As far as
I stand and I'm getting ready to duke it out, I guess.
Okay, we'll roll for initiative to see if you get a
20.
Okay. 20. Okay. Whether or not this being thrown off this bike, and by throwing that smoke pellet, you've kind of obscured your own self. You thought that he would be careening through, but he stopped and he just rolls through it and he gets off. Like I said, he throws it down and he charges you, which is really kind of odd, but he's already kind of up on you. Your ears are ringing, you're disoriented, and he crosses you one right across the jaw. Now, I want you to roll a d6. Now, I want to do this.
I got a 1.
The one? Okay. Well, he cracks you a good bit. You feel it sting your jaw, and it turns your head. That's two points that you'll soak with damage. Okay. Now, the next, I'll switch it over to you, Valor. What are you doing? Hey, Valor. John?
I'm kind of looking back and trying to see if I can see Hellbat.
You can't
or hear a bike coming up.
Yeah. You don't hear really nothing right now. It's pretty quiet on the street that you.
Okay, how far are we from what I would consider a safe zone?
You're not in a safe zone considering that you're in Dream Sand. But the roads in between these gatherings have been sort of empty because it seems like everybody's at these little gatherings that you've been to.
Okay, and I'm assuming that these roads look pretty trashed.
Oh yeah, there's trash and heroin needles and everything you can think of laying on the side of the road.
He kind of looks down, kind of looks back, kind of looks down, kind of looks back. Damn it. And with that, he's going to try to find the best hidey hole he can figure out.
Okay.
To put Diamond before he goes back after Hellbat. Okay.
Now it's going to take you around. You can see a little alley over the side and some trash cans or whatever. They're pretty, and there's a pile of refuse around them. So, you can kind of hide him behind it and tuck him in. He'll look just part of the refuse. But while you're doing that, it's going to take you around to do that. It's going to take you a couple of rounds to get back to the area at full speed to help him if that's what you intend to do. So we will go back to hell.
He wouldn't just leave someone behind. So but I figure I'll probably be a better advantage not lugging a guy behind me or in front of me the entire time that's pretty much unconscious. That's going to get us both killed.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what you want to do. I'm just saying, if you're pulling him off the bike and putting him to the side, covering him up and running, it's going to take you, it's going to take you a little bit to get back on foot. Now, if you drive, it won't take you that long.
No, I fully intend on taking the bike back.
Okay. So you pull him up and you're putting him up there, and then we'll switch back to Hellbat. He's already, that hit, man, it woke you up. The smoke's clearing behind him, and you see your target right in front of you. It's just like you want to say thanks.
Yeah.
So go ahead. You roll up.
All
roll
right.
The hitting.
I'm gonna roll a hit. 7. That's gonna hit.
It's gonna hit. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you swing back and you clock him a good one. He now you using your fist. I want you to roll a D6.
Yeah. 4.
Okay, 4. Now you will.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any modifiers for your 18. I don't believe this in this game, is it?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But
No.
what'd you say you rolled? A 4? Okay.
Yeah, I've got a 4.
All right. Definitely that stung him, and he staggers back a little bit halfway into the smoke that's clearing, and then he rushes again. Now, for both that, I want you to roll initiative to see how this plays out.
16. No, that fails.
16. Okay. Well, he's got it. He's got the clock on you. See if you can roll it again and see if you can not take any damage when he swings at you. You're straight.
1. No way he's hitting.
1. Yeah. They know there is no way he's hitting. So whenever he swings at you, you sidestep, almost like in slow motion, like a Spider-Man movie. When he's swinging at you, and he swing at a big miss. He stumbles forward and stumbles into the building that's right behind you, and right behind that glass where old boy went through with his bike half hanging out. And he gets and turns around. Now roll initiative again. Let's see what happens.
Got a 3.
3. Okay. Now you got some free reign here on what you want to do.
No, he's pretty close. He's in like reaching distance, right?
Oh yeah. You're still within close proximity.
Okay. I'm gonna take basically just a kick at him, side kick at him, kind of old Batman style,
Okay, I want you to roll with advantage because when he rolled that 1, it was kind of a critical mistake. He slipped and stumbled and fell.
Okay. 17 plus whatever. I don't know what the advantage is on that.
17. Well, you got to roll. You got to roll under your strength.
Yeah, it is under my strength.
Okay. Yeah.
And
yeah,
you're
right. You're right. Okay.
I don't know what advantage you were giving me. It was a plus.
Oh no, I just meant you roll 2 dice.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Either way, I'm still rolling under.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as what I have for him, when you kick him, because he started moving forward and you kicked him, I want you to roll a D6.
Okay. 3.
3. You kick him and he stumbles back. There's a little bit of blood, and he's warping it like that. And he's stomping forward. His eyes are like wide open. And he's going, oh, and then he rushes you like a bull. All right. Now roll initiative. Let's see if he has any footing on this.
I got 5. I'm cool.
Okay. Now, at this point, I want to say that we'll go back to Valor. Valor, you've already jumped on your bike. And when you hear this little boy going, whoa, you also echoes a little bit. It comes into your hearing range. You hear a bike, a motorcycle, and it's bearing down for your right and coming down fast. Now, Valor, this is what you see. You saw Hellbat lift up his leg like a big boot him, old boy, and slam him into the wall. And then old boy kind of gains his composure, wipes his mouth, and is rushing Hellbat right now. Now, you'll be up on them if you're going at full speed, and in a second. But what are you going to do, Hellbat?
I'm gonna take a swing at him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll and see if you get under your strength.
8. I
Hey.
beat it.
Yeah, when you do, roll a d6. Let's see what happens.
2.
Okay. When you do, explain how you clock this guy.
I'm coming in at him with a boxer stance. I'll just come in and just waylay on him. Jab him with the left and just kind of try to swing at him, as much as I can.
Okay. Well, you're just comboing. You're Mortal Kombat and Killer Instinct comboing this dude.
Mm-hmm.
Backing up, and he's reeling back. And as you're doing this, almost you can see his eyes rolling back up in his head. And then you stop, and he drops. He drops with his back up against the wall. And Valor, you'll see this. It's like you see Hellbat big boot him. Old boy tries to rush him, and it just waylays on him and throws him up against there. The boy just slumps down. And Hellbat, at this moment, you hear Valor approaching. Now, John, is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
But as I see him clock him,
Yeah.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss behind them a smoke bomb. And I'm going to tell you, get on the damn bike, old man. What do you think we're doing?
So he he spins up right to you, Hellbat. You just look at him like that. And he's sitting there with his bike.
And basically he throws it as he's doing a T-turn with the bike. The whole leg down, spinning around, going the other way.
Yeah. Okay. What are you doing, Hellbat?
All right, I'm gonna go get on the bike, man. Just get out of there as quick as possible. Take the victory and leave.
And you hear Diamond's heading up here. We got to stop and get him.
Okay.
Right.
So if you hop on there and you'll head back toward Blue Diamond,
Mm-hmm.
You come around the corner. It's still quiet. He's still laid there. Now, before y'all left and before you dropped that bomb, you could see a horde of people off in the distance, but marching very quickly down that road. It looked like it was a flood of people from where y'all had left. All those people that had been around that area, they were marching back. So what are you doing when you get back and Blue Diamond's been unmolested? He still looks like he's passed out right now.
I toss him over the front of the bike and we take off because I know my mountain biking experience has been helping me through all this.
Okay, now I want to let you roll. Roll, both of y'all roll your below your intelligence.
3. I'm cool.
3. Okay.
5.
Okay. Well, both of y'all know when you get back and you're pulling him up on this bike, very shallow breathing. It looks like his eyes have rolled back in his head. He's a lot of the blood that you see pooling up through in different patched areas through this straitjacket, and he's still bound. So he's quite unconscious. But you can tell.
Right now we need to get out of here rather than dealing trying any type of first aid right now is not a good idea.
Yeah, I'm just saying you can tell that he's on the verge of expiring, so to speak. So he needs intensive care.
Uh,
I'm gonna
and once I start to pull him on, I look at him and say, you know anyone? He's going to need more help than what we can do, or I can do at least.
I don't know if there's any clinic or doctor nearby at all.
Okay. Now, while y'all discussing this and they pull him up on the bike, you can hear it's almost like an echo because they've rounded the corner of these people. And you can hear a little bit of revving amongst them. It's like some of them have picked up the bikes that have been laid out on the way there. Now, y'all taken the people out. There's a couple of them. So you hear this, it's like a mob kind of echo sound. So what is your next action? Now, I mean, there's no hospital immediately. There's one out of Dreamsend, actually a block away from where you live, Valor. But that's on the other side. Dreamsend's more like a neighborhood inside.
Do I know anyone who lives in that area?
Okay. Yeah, you know your aunt. She's a nurse that works in the hospital. But I mean, other than that, yeah, relative. Yeah, not
how much does she keep her mouth shut?
She you don't really know her all that well. I haven't been really in contact with her. Never really close with her. She's just your aunt. So basically, it would take some kind of a reaction roll. But right now, we're requesting a bio break, so we can do that, and you can think about what your next move is. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. I need to refill my.
Yeah.
Drink anyway.
Yeah. That's right. It's kid's bedtime anyway, so I gotta go tell him goodnight.
Okay. All right. We'll see you on a second then.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Okay, I'm back.
All right, John, can you hear me? All right.
Yep.
In the vigilante hack, when you go down to 0 hit points, I know it's listed for the heroes. I use it for the villains as well. You roll a dice, a d6,
Mhm.
and so I did that for him, for Hellbats. The guy was combating him,
Mhm.
and rolled a 6.
Oh.
Yeah, that means that he's dead. Which I'll tell you what happens. Get back here. Um,
I just hate the rolls like this when I'm playing D&D, but I guess my horrible D&D rolls are turning out winners here.
yeah, I had that same experience because whenever I can play, a game where it's reversed, like if I play Dragon Warriors or I was playing, I was rolling good in Dungeon Crawl Classics the other night. But on my Lamentation game, I miss out a lot. It's rare that I get a streak of good rolls.
Well, last Tuesday I ran Adventure League, and the highest roll I got all night
Yeah,
was a double crit on advantage, and everything else was 10 or less.
yeah, that sounds like me. I just go, I forget it. Sometimes I go, hey, somebody else roll for me.
Well, I was DMing, so I really didn't mind missing my attacks. I'm not the DM that likes to do TPK and all that shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for me running that was fine, but I also threw more at them than they really could handle.
Yeah. I mean, I like being fair, but as far as not doing the TPK thing either, but I don't like to pull punches either. Let the dice fall where they may.
Well, I don't run with a DM screen, which kind of scares the hell out of them.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, we've been playing for what's this, 7:30 or so? So when O'Neill gets back, see how far we can push this. We'll wrap it up. This is one shot. I think it's going to be interesting to switch out GMs on this, for different comic issues.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, and even different players. Whoever
Right.
wants to be a vigilante inside the city.
Well, I just tried to come up with something different and fun, and I always think that a junior superhero that is basically a fanboy is kind of a hilarious thing to put in a game.
Oh, it is. It kind of a little bit reminds me of that first Incredibles movie, where a boy was he's like, "Get away from me."
Well, I'll have to send you the other picture because the other one that I had thought of using was especially after I saw his character was, I saw this really cool younger looking Red Hood without the helmet on.
Yeah.
And that was the other idea for this character.
Oh, cool. Well, that's one good thing about what we're conceiving here is you can have different, one night play one and another one play another one. They just obviously can't be played in this. Well, actually, they could if you wanted to commandeer too. But I played the funnel in Dungeon Crawl Classics. I had to play four characters at once. That was a hoot, actually. You play all 0 level characters to see which one makes it. Yeah, it's crazy. You back, O'Neill?
Yeah.
right, there he is. Okay.
I'm back. John, we're going to Vegas. I swear. You got some dice rolls.
I know. That's what we was just talking about. He's hitting it. I mean, it was funny though.
Well, I will tell you this much. I ran D&D at Adventure League on Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
Could not roll anything above a 10 except for one roll. and that one roll was double advantage, double crit advantage.
Oh, jeez.
I rolled 2 20s in the same damn roll.
Oh, wow. You dropped
and other than that, I couldn't roll above a 10. It happened in the middle of the game.
Oh, jeez.
Put
a fear of God into one of them, though.
Well, I was telling John when he was out of the room that that chart where you roll when somebody gets down to a 0, for the heroes, and you roll to find out a D6 to find out what exactly happens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing that with the villains too. So
okay.
This is what's going to happen at this moment when you guys are trying to pull him out. Like I said, you can hear a little bit of the people that are coming down the road. There's a little bit of echo. There's a lot of voices. It's in the middle of the night, but they're all still, they've gotten pretty close. And right now, you can tell exactly where they are because it's a little bit of a hushed tone that comes down the street. It quietens down a little bit. And then you hear somebody go, "Ay, ami! They killed your amigo! They killed Nitro!" And that echoes down. Now, why this happened is I rolled a 6 on that chart. So the guy you were fighting, who's obviously his name was Nitro, that little last punch was a little bit more than he could take. So he is deceased. He's dead. No longer alive. So you hear this echo down. It's like, and then they all just scream, and then you hear some bikes rev up. So y'all are dragging Blue Diamond out and trying to hoist him back up on the bike. And that's where we'll pick up.
And when this happens, you see Valor look at you and his face drop.
Kid, we need to get out of here.
Okay. So I guess y'all hopping on the bike and hightailing it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can still hear the crowd, but you also hear the bikes revving up and getting closer now. Because some of them actually have been picked up and, like I said, recommandeered, and they're driving towards you, and you hear them revving up. And y'all are on your bikes. The body's on there. You're revving up to go, and then around the corner, you see the headlights spring out of the oncoming bikes, and they starting to hit that curve, and then they see you as you're leaving out, but you're approaching another curve. Now you can go right and left, and what I want you to do is right now, I don't know where you intend to go to. You, especially Hellbat, are really aware from a standpoint of boots on the ground about this city. So you could get around in here, in this neighborhood in particular. And you, Valor, are more aware from a technical standpoint of seeing the schematics and the layout. So you both are somewhat aware of where you need to go if you need to go somewhere in particular. But to be more efficient, you'll have to roll your intelligence on how to get there. But you're being chased down if indeed you are running. So you're going to have to roll your dex to try to get away from them. See if you can open the gap, so to speak. So just let me know what you're going to do.
Well, Blue Diamond needs medical attention. We got to get him.
I'm thinking out the quickest route that I think is safe to get Blue Diamond near the hospital. Not to it, near it.
There's a local free clinic, but it's shut down as far as in the neighborhood.
No, that's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah, but you're going to the hospital that stays open all night, which is about a block further than you live. Which, yeah, it's going to take you a little bit there. So roll for your intelligence first off, both of you, to see if you
That's a
coordinate
6.
quicker path. Okay,
I got a 6 as well.
the 6. Okay,
Yeah.
well, both of you know are in tandem exactly. There's no argument here of where you need to get to. So when you look at yourself, you know. So you plotted a direct course to here, and I want you to see if you can. Are you running from them while you're trying to get?
Yeah, that would be the best action right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, roll your dex and let's see if you can open that gap.
No.
Okay. What are you getting? Valor.
I got a 5.
So you're peeling out, and oh boy's on the back of your
I've moved him to where he's in front of me, laying over the gas tank, basically.
Okay. Now there's a little bit I'm assembling twists and turns which can help you lose them as far as getting to the hospital. Okay. Now it's somewhat twisty. You'll need to get through the shortcut to get to the hospital quicker. It's a quicker route, but it's a little bit more twisty than the one you take to get to that area. You've been on there before. So and it'll slow you down somewhat. Which a little bit of it's a wash because you're carrying that body, which is going to be a negative. But I want you to roll for they know the area just as well as you, and I want you to roll at add 1 to your die roll as far as valor for having him on that bike, and you're in front a little bit as far as any future rolls, and Hellbat, he's gone on before you. You know where he's going. You know which route he's taking. But you're a little bit behind him, and maybe even so on purpose, So they are. He's opened the gap up a little bit. They're catching up on you, Hellbat. Y'all are entering the next area to where you're kind of going into a corner. See if you roll your decks and see if you can lose them a little bit. Both of you. You're rolling your decks, see if you can open that gap up.
No.
Okay. Now, what about you, Valor?
16, and even with the plus the -1 to my dex, it still makes it.
All right. Well, you're able to go through, and some of these areas are tight corners, little alleyways and whatever like that. So you're able to get through there, and you're opening this gap. It's almost like a distance now. You hear them. You don't know which, if they're on your tail or if they've been kind of lost somewhere in the jostle. Now, Hellbat, they are right on your tail. You're trying to go through this area, but you're getting cramped up a little bit. The bike you have is a little bit messed up somewhat. It's been damaged. Was what's been slowing you down for in-game reasons. So right now, they're right on your tail. One more, and they'll be on you. So roll it one more time, and let's see what y'all get.
No, I got 13. It doesn't make it.
Okay, what do you get, Valor?
I wouldn't leave him behind, but I rolled a 14, which is way under.
Okay, yeah. Well, you got that on top of him, and you know that Hellbat's a pretty stalwart character. I mean, vigilante in the area. So now Hellbat, what you're seeing is there are 3 bikers. You notice now because you can see them all, and they're all funneling in this area, and you're going down this smaller alleyway. Now they're right on your tail, and you can hear old boy cursing at you in Spanish, and there's a beer bottle that's thrown, and it smashes. It's still a little bit out of distance, and from a little bit of Spanish, it's not good what they're saying. So you're going down this narrow alleyway, and they're following them right behind you, and it's just echoing. And in fact, you're slowing them because they caught up to you. You're almost like a choke point to where that old Valor's already good. You feel that he's already enough distance away. You've lost eye contact with him, and you can't really hear his bike anymore. But obviously you know where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
What do you want to do? Roll for initiative, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll for initiative.
Okay. Now, what'd you get?
5.
5. Okay. Well, that's good. That's
good.
Good
Number.
Now they're right behind you, which is going to be more difficult. But what do you want to do? Now that this narrow thing you're going through is probably about 12 foot wide. Yeah, it's like kind of between buildings. You going?
Okay.
There's trash cans. You're having to get around it. Yeah, why not?
All right. I'm gonna try to jam him up more. I'm gonna try to jump off my bike and dump it. Okay. See if I can get him to slow him down more.
Okay. Now, if you're attempting that, roll to see if you can roll under your decks.
Nope. Shoot.
Okay.
Dang.
Well, you're jumping off your bike.
Yeah, it's a net 20.
Oh, geez. Okay. Now, when you try to jump off that bike gets stuck when you're weaving in between these garbage canisters that are behind these businesses as you're going through it. Because of the darkness. I don't know if you got night vision goggles or if you've been using them.
Yeah, I got night vision goggles.
You do. I mean, are you wearing them right now or no?
Yes. Yeah, I'll wear them.
Okay. Well, I want you to. You rolled a nat 20.
Mm-hmm.
The bike gets a hold of some. There's hobos sleeping back here and homeless people and as you go through and probably drug addicts and whatever as you're weaving through here, and you try to, one of them surprise you and you try to move out the way, and the bike itself slips on some refuse that's been laid out, kind of like sand, you know what I mean, and it dumps on you when you was about to prep to jump. So it gets locked up right in between a dumpster and where you're at, and you fly forward. Now, I want you to roll and see how much you can roll a d4.
Three.
Okay, you're gonna double that because of the 20. And when you fly off of this thing, you hit the next dumpster and it bounces off and hit the wall. So that's 6 more points, and hopefully your armor sucks some of that up. But it definitely takes the wind out of you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely okay. Would.
Now, these guys are right on your tail, and they're kind of choked up anyway, but they've jumped off their bikes and are throwing them down, and they're they're climbing over your bike that's been wedged in between these 2 dumpsters, and they are surrounding you. I want you to roll Roll for initiative as you're trying to get up and right yourself. All right.
Let's say that is a 6.
Okay. So you're up on your feet. You get enough, it knocked the wind out of you a good bit, but you get up on your feet pretty quick, and you're ready as the other one jumps off your bike. This late halfway, wedged in between. He's jumping down, and the other one's jumping behind him. So whatever you want to do, better do it.
All right, we'll go at the first guy.
Okay.
Let's see.
Now, hey, I want you to roll 2 times, okay?
Okay.
Because you're rolling with advantage because of the die goggle.
12. Or no,
Okay.
7. I'm sorry.
7. Okay.
7 with advantage. Yeah.
That's good. The first guy that's jumping off there, he slips on the refuse a little bit, and you get a chance to do whatever you want to do with it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take a hard swing at him.
Okay.
So roll. I rolled a 2 on the D6. So.
Okay. 2 on a D6, and anyway, you knock him back a little bit, and he stumbles back into the next guy. Now, I'm going to pause it for a second and go back to Valor. Now, Valor, you're further on down the line, and you know that you can't really hear the bikes anymore. You've been twisting through in pursuit. So roll and see your dex, and let's see if you can get to the border, as it were.
That's a 2.
A 2. All right. Now, when you make it to the border of Dream Sin, which is more of a neighborhood, and you're about a block away from your house, which the hospital's a block on the other side of your house. So it's going to take you a little bit to get there. If in fact that's where you're going. So you can proceed in that direction and in relative safety if that's where you want to go.
To be honest with you, I went back to save him once, and he didn't need my help.
Yeah,
I have no way of knowing what's happening. So at this point, I think he would have to move on because he thinks that Hellbat might be able to cover his own ass to get the hell out of there.
But and you see that Blue Diamond is he's bleeding, and those blood patches on his are growing larger, so he's hemorrhaging.
And while we're going, I'm trying to get an idea of how his costume is put together to see if I can pull off enough incriminating.
Oh, he's in a straitjacket.
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm trying to remember his costume because you said I've seen him around.
Oh,
before.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because what I want to eventually do is try to make it look like a bike accident right outside the hospital.
Okay.
So they would admit him as a John Doe.
If you're doing that, it's going to take you a couple of rounds. I'd say about at least 20 minutes. Not that I know exactly about how straitjacket works, but you gotta roll for intelligence to try to roll for intelligence and dex to try to get this straitjacket off of him to where you can access the costume.
Well, before I even try the straitjacket, do I think that I can make the costume not look?
You
more...
can. It is simply just a. Well, you mean leave the costume on?
Because there's no way you could really disguise Superman's costume. Is what I'm saying. No,
I get you now. Yeah, if you could get the straitjacket off, and then you could tear enough off of the costume that would identify him. He does wear a mask like a cowl, but if you could take that off of him and rip some emblems off of his chest and that, which is what you had seen him in his costume before. He has these patches and emblems that he's applied to himself, right? And I mean, they're just blue diamonds on the corners of his shoulders and one on the central center of his tunic, which you could rip that off, if you have a little blade or something like that, and start peeling back the stitching. So if you want to do that, it'll take you a couple of rounds to do that. So
because what I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on sending the bike into a wall and make it look like he lost control and skidded into the wall.
Yeah,
that's the reason he's got the road rash and looks as bad as he does.
Exactly. I mean, we would have to, before there was any suspicion or whatever like that, have to roll for some kind of reaction from them. But I mean, that seems feasible. It wouldn't be no negatives, In fact, you could say it was a positive. I'd roll that with advantage because there's been so many biker, activity that has gone through the media recently that people are aware of. So they're probably expecting it, and it's probably not. He's not the only one, So it wouldn't be that hard of as far as your estimation, it wouldn't be hard of a thing to do. So you'd roll with advantage to do that.
And also, when I'm doing this, I'm making a point of not directly looking at his face.
Okay. You could do that. Like I said, you're a couple of blocks away from the hospital. Mm-hmm. So you're going to need to drive there. And by that time, he may have wrapped up this battle, but I don't know. It could be going on. Well, I'll jump back to Hellbat right now. Okay, you clock him 2, and old boy staggers back into the other guy that just jumped down. And the guy that just jumped down, you punch him into him, and he pushes him over. He goes, "I'll take care of this." And then the third guy sitting up there, and he goes, "Yeah, Poppy will put him to sleep." And he reaches in a little pouch, and he's pulling out something to throw. Now, I want you to roll for your initiative on this guy.
13, don't make it.
Initiative? Okay. Now, he throws out this powder at you. And his powder flakes in it and gets a little bit of your eyes. I want you to throw a save. All right. And it's going to be a save for Constitution.
No, 13. That doesn't beat it.
13. Okay. Now, what's going on here is when this hits you, you breathe it in. You feel all right now. It just gets in your eyes, right? And you're wiping it out. It blurs your eyes for a little bit, and it feels kind of grainy. And he starts to run to you and taking a swing. But I want you to do. He's got you at a disadvantage. I want you to roll for to see if you can dodge this.
Yeah, 10.
Okay.
I dodge.
Now, did you roll a disadvantage like 2 of them?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, you dodge, and this dude's incised. He says, "You killed Nitro," and then he throws out all kind of expletives in Spanish, and he's going at you. And the other one's just standing on the bike and, pumping his fist and whatever like that. So you get him, Poppy. And the other one's he feels a little disgraced. He's over in the corner, like a boy's taking his stand. Now he misses you. Now roll to see if you can, you duck and dodge. Now roll to see if you can hit him. If that's what you're doing.
Yeah. 8, that hits.
8, okay. Now, even though your eyes are grained up and blurry and whatever, like you swing and you clock him, roll to see how much you damage him.
6.
Dang, you clock him hard, dude. He reels back, and the other was kind of a boy standing on the bike, pumping his fist, kind of just halfway. He withdraws his pump and is like, crap, what do I do? And the other one kind of stands up a little bit straighter. And then Bobby says, no, I got this. And he's pushing him back. And then he comes at you again. Roll to see if he hits you. We're just going to go back and forth here.
All right. 5. Miss.
Okay. He misses you. He comes at you again, and you duck. And roll again to see if you hit him.
Oh, roll again to see if I hit him?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go back and forth.
3. I roll 3 for.
Dang. Okay. Roll to see what you roll. What you clocking for.
4.
4. Again. I mean, you hit him and a freaking tooth flies out. All right. And blood comes out the side of his mouth. And he's getting really, really irritated now. It's at 4. The first one was a 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay. At this time, I want you to you start feel your eyelids all of a sudden start to drop, and you shake your head like this. I mean, it's like you about to pass out. You can't hardly keep your eyes open. So he's going to roll to hit you and roll at a. It's his turn, correct? Yeah. Roll at a disadvantage.
Okay. Now would this be like? I know I have a +2 on my saving throws versus willpower, so I didn't know if that would do anything or not too.
No. I mean, that's set right now.
All right. Either way, man, I got 5.
Okay. Either way. All right. You duck and dodge him, and your movements are so erratic. It's hard for him to have a beat on you. It's like you're going from muscle memory. So he's trying to hit you, even though you're groggy as all get out. You're fighting it. So speaking of fighting it, take a swing back at it.
7. That hits.
7. Okay. You don't know how you're doing it, but you're making contact. The small area, he can't really duck and dodge too much. And you got him back into a corner. So roll and see what you do.
All right. Roll D20, right?
Yeah, you roll 2 of it at disadvantage.
Okay. 2 at a disadvantage. All right. 11 still hits.
Okay. Roll damage.
Stop already. 4.
4. Okay. Now this dude, you see his eye swell up like big and bruised and starts closing up on him. And you're about to drop. You're still holding yourself, holding your stuff upright. Now I want you to roll. I'm going to stack this disadvantage right now. So I want you to roll 3 D20s to see if he hits you.
No. My highest is 17, man. He still doesn't hit.
Okay. He's swinging at you, swinging and missing. His closed up eye. He's not getting the beat on you. And what are you doing?
I'm going to swing back.
Okay. Roll 3 D20s.
You want the high or low? I can't remember.
If you're attacking him, you want to lower it. Well, I mean, you want the highest off of the.
Okay. 13 is the highest. It still hits.
Okay, 13 is the highest. All right, you hit him. Roll for your damage.
6.
6. Okay. Now, at this moment, and we'll come back to you in a second, Valor. At this moment, you explain to me how you take this dude out.
As we're exchanging punches, man, I'm ducking, I'm weaving, and I'll just come up with an uppercut right straight to the chin.
All right. When you do, it takes him out and lays him over that bike. And old boy has to stagger back and almost jump back. Now, I'm going to roll to see their reaction here. Both of them are standing there like they in disbelief. They look at him and they drop. A boy drops fully off the back of that bike, and the one facing you starts clambering. The one that was over on your side, first one you clocked, starts clambering up over the dude that you knocked out. And I want you to roll a d6 for me right now and tell me what you did to this dude.
5.
5. Okay. And I'll find it right here. Okay. When you hit him. This is charisma reduced to 4 permanently. You disfigured him. When you did, you hit his jaw, and you hear it crack. And his jaw just slides up and it slides down. It's unhinged right now. Gives new meaning to the word slack jaw. And when old boy's clambering over him, you see it sickeningly like that. And his tongue's lolling out and his eyeballs roll back in his head. They don't want none of that. They're running. You hear them running down like, he took out Poppy. He took out Poppy. And then you hear it echoing down. And then they get on their bikes and you hear them trailing off. Now you're disoriented and whatnot, but I'm going to switch it back over to Valor. Valor, you've had time to work on this guy and set him up. And while this is going on, you're still, did you stop to do that and then approach the hospital? Hey, John?
Basically, about a block away or a little bit more, I want to find a side alley.
Okay.
And I want to do this there. And what I'm going to do is it's going to look like he missed the turn. He was turning to turn into the alley. Is what I'm trying to set it up looking at.
Okay. Now, I mean, if you want to crash the bike and make some kind of an incident and whatever, and
but that's after I get him set up so that it looks like he.
Okay. Well, you've had time to drive there and jump off and start taking the jacket off of him and then removing the garments. And right now, it's you can now start setting up the accident scene or whatever you want to do. Okay. And you can see the hospital just right down the road, but you're off in a little side alley. It has the little emergency entrance where you see an ambulance pulling in.
Okay. Well, I'm still going to set up the scene. What do you want me to roll?
That's a good question.
Because literally what I am going to do, though, is I'm going to set up the bike because I've been driving it all this time. I kind of got an idea of how it feels.
Yeah.
I want it to look almost real. The spin outs.
Yeah. Well, I want you to roll a dex to see if you can mimic some kind of a slide, and leave some tire marks or whatever.
And that is a 9.
Okay. Well, you got that. And roll your intelligence for your character to see how well you can lay this out convincingly.
Well, I made the intelligence check barely.
Okay. Well, that's
But-
cool. I mean, you're going to roll for advantage on that. All right. So if you want to take him into the hospital or whatever, and you can describe that.
Actually, I'm going to do the opposite
Okay.
because my aunt told me that you never move anyone at a scene.
Got you. All right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss off my leather jacket. I'm going to toss off the domino mask and leave the shield. And I'm going to hide it on either by a trash can or something like that. But I'm going to do it near the entrance to the hospital rather than at the quote crime scene.
Okay. When you're
And other than that, I look like jeans and a t-shirt.
yeah, exactly.
So what? He's a comic fan.
Yeah, exactly. Now you've had that domino mask, and I want to say you remove the domino mask, okay? And you're approaching, and you're dumping this. It's not necessarily out of anything out of the ordinary. When I'm assuming you've already walked up to the entrance.
Actually, as soon as I find a place to drop my stuff,
Yeah.
I pop the flashbang for the loud noise of the crash.
Ah.
And what I'm going to do is, in the distraction of that, I'm going to run into the hospital. Hey, there's been an accident right outside the door. You've got to go help.
Got you. Okay. Now you're doing this. Like I said, there was an ambulance pulling up, and you drop the flashbang. You run over there, and at that time when you're running in, the paramedics they're halfway taking somebody out of the ambulance, and it looks to be one of those. You recognize them as one of the drivers. You don't know which one, but it's assumed that one of those drivers was taken out, right? And when you're saying there's been an accident as the doors are swinging open, and I'm guessing you're telling the paramedics too, they're just looking at you, and they've already seen the flashbang go off. So, and they just kind of drop him suddenly, and he, you know what I mean? As he's on a stretcher. It's got wheels underneath it. They're kind of like caught between, like, what's just happening here? And then one of them like, well, get him in there. And then they start hoofing it over there, the two other paramedics. And you're running inside, the door swings open, and they roll that other guy beside you. And he looks at you and he lulls, but there's no sense of recognition in his face. You don't have your mask on right now. All right. And then he just rolls his head back, and they're rolling him down down that hallway. The nurses request you come there and start filling out some paperwork and whatever like that. Now back to you, Hellbat. At this moment, what do? They're tearing out on their bicycles, and you hear while you're standing there holding your side, you see a figure stand up behind one of the trash cans, and it looks to be a hobo, and it's like it woke him up. He said, why'd y'all wake me up? I was almost home. And he's looking, and they're riding off with the bikes, and he looks at you, and he's blinking and wiping the sleep out of his eyes. And then he sits back down and rolls over underneath his newspaper blanket. So what are you doing?
I mean, at this point, I'm barely keeping it together, and I'm gonna just kind of start trying to stagger my way down the alley. Hopefully, get to somewhere safe.
Okay, I want you to roll a dice, and roll under your intelligence. All right.
I got a 12. No, doesn't beat it.
He's not going to do it. Okay. Well, this right here, there's some clamoring, and you're staggering along, and you knock a couple of trash cans open. There's some lights that come on, and people peek out and tell you to shut up and all this other stuff. There's nothing really going on. You have to travel a few blocks down back alleys, but you know where you're going. Roll one more time to see if you make a roll to see if you make a dexterity.
Nope. 16.
Nope. Okay. Now at this time, you're causing more of a commotion. There's some people that come out on the streets and they're looking at you, and some of them snapping and taking pictures. You're quite disoriented. All you see is kind of like flashbangs. You can't really see where you're going. You're bumping into stuff. Roll one more saving throw for Constitution.
Damn. No. A 17, okay. Man.
At this time, you feel that heaviness and weight take over you. You fall down on your knees and you fall over and roll on your back, and you see the full moon that's out. And your eyelids drop. You pass out. Now we go back to Valor. Valor, you as far as them wanting you to fill out information, how do you reply to that? It's like, we need somebody to fill out information for this, whatever.
I have no idea who he is.
Okay.
I was just walking by and saw the accident.
So you don't know him, and they're pointing to the guy on the gurney like that. Okay.
I don't know him. I'm just telling you about a guy.
Okay, and then the paramedic comes in and says, "We've had an accident down a thing. We're about to bring in a motorcycle accident victim." And
while they're saying that, I do the Batman poof out of the scene gesture.
Okay, all right. So you're walking out, and that is
stealing from me, kid.
That is.
Hey, you haven't caught up with me yet, so he thinks something's up. So he'll probably start heading that way.
Now, actually, what we're gonna stop it there, and because I'd like to pick that up with Hellbat later. All right, and another issue. Well, that's how this issue ends. All right. But anyway, yeah, it was great. It was great playing with y'all guys, and great testing out the game for the first time.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Pretty simple.
Yeah, it is. But you got me wonder what's going to happen to Hellbat.
Oh, my good Lord! Find out next issue.
All right, but as far as Valor, he's out and safe.
I wouldn't say that yet. He's probably heading back towards that area, even if he comes back as an NPC.
Okay, but I mean, you're as far as an immediate danger, you're not. Whatever you want to do. So yeah, we picked that up with another issue. But
yeah.
Anyway, that sounds good, yeah. And I appreciate you playing. Like I said, maybe next time we can get a couple more vigilantes and have another DM or whatever.
Yeah,
but, that's a good start. At least you got the ball rolling,
Yeah,
we've been trying to do this for 2 months or so.
Yeah, something like that, man. You know how life is; it gets in the way.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. But all right. Well, I'll go ahead and close it off for that, and then we can talk afterwards about maybe setting up another game. All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Anybody who watched, appreciate it. Talk to you later. Take it easy.